Hey you guys, welcome back to K the PA. It's been a while. Yes, it has. It's been a while since I've felt like I wanted to do a video, because I don't like just making videos just to make it. I think that's just dumb. You know, I'm not gonna upload weekly just to have something to say. When I talk, I want it to be meaningful. And I mean, I tried doing the same video like for the third time now. Wait, let me push this back so y'all can see this beautiful work of art by my sister. Okay. Yeah, my sister painted this. So from now on, in any of the videos where I'm talking to you guys one-on-one, I'm going to have one of her paintings in the background. She's like so talented. I'm going to leave her information in the box below. But anyways, yeah, so I tried doing the same video like 3 times now, and I felt like I looked stupid, or I had too much acne on my face, or whatever it was. So I'm like, you know what, let me just delete it. So let me just redo this whole thing. But just to catch up with where I am right now on my journey to success, still working as a tech at the hospital, and I work like 4 to 5 days every week. Every now and then I'll just work my 3 days, which is considered full-time. But I mean, I like being able to pay my bills, have a little bit of extra money to like travel, or go to the farmer's market and buy my little fruits, vegetables, and buy my alkaline water, all that good stuff. So, you know, I just try to work and just have enough where I can do what I want to do. But sometimes like it can get really overwhelming, especially if I'm like on the floor constantly. I mean, I love patient care, but sometimes it could really take a toll on you. Whether it's like as a tech, it's hard sometimes when you're dealing with patients, because I mean, you along with the nurses are really doing, I think, the hardest job at the hospital. I think the nurses do work the hardest. I mean, I want to be a PA, and I respect doctors also, but I think nurses have like a really hard job, because they have to deal with the patient. They have to deal with their family, and, you know, they have to clean them and take them to the bathroom. And it's like, it takes a lot of patience with this job. And when you're a nurse or a tech, like it could be like a back-breaking job. So you really have to be careful of what I'm going to talk about today, which is burnout. And I mean, that mainly affects healthcare providers. And I think I was like on the verge of like a burnout or whatever I was going through like a couple of weeks ago, because like I just felt so like irritated by everything. Like when I was at work, I was dealing with patients that were very ungrateful. Like, I don't know where these people just came from all at once, but it was that whole week. They were all being ungrateful. I had like a lady tell me to get out her room. I had one patient that was telling me, like, demanding that I just clean her up right now, you know. And I was like, oh, you know, well, I'll be back. You know, I'll get the nurse and we'll clean you up. No, you have to do it right now. Like, oh my gosh, it was a lot. And then I was also dealing with nurses that week that were being extremely, extremely lazy. And that's one thing that I just hate the most. I don't like laziness. I don't like dealing with lazy people, because I'm all about teamwork. I feel like when you work as a team, you can get so much done. And it's better for everyone. Like, I don't want to kill my back trying to do stuff by myself. And I don't want you to do that either. So if we can work it out, you know, it's better for both of us. But I was just dealing with that whole thing, and I just didn't want to be at work. And then also, I'm like, if I'm going to deal with this, why would I want to be here? So I was on that verge of having like a breakdown, and it was just not a good week for me. And this thing is about to die. Yeah, so I mean, it was not a great week, and I just feel like when you're in the healthcare field, like you see doctors and nurses and just all these people that initially came in to this career, this field, and they had like a light in their eyes. They were like all excited and they wanted to like help people. And then after a while, you see like their loss of passion for their position. And I was researching recently compassion fatigue, and that's basically what that is. Like you lose compassion over time because you're just so, I guess, you're so used to dealing with trauma, and maybe maybe it affected you in ways that you didn't even know. And like over time, you just become less compassionate about your patients. You know, you just go in, you do the job because, okay, you're a doctor or you're a nurse, so you're just doing the job. But sometimes you see people walking around and you could tell they have no kind of passion for their career anymore. And honestly, I didn't want to get to that point because it's hard to watch, you know, because these people are usually the ones that don't care to go the extra mile for their patients. And that's really dangerous because when you're at that point, anything can happen to your patient. You're not given like the best care. So maybe if you ran one more test, that would have helped solve that patient's problem. But you decided, hey, I'm just going to do the bare minimum and just send them home. And then what happens? That same patient comes back to the hospital with the same problem or worse. So, I mean, it could really affect your patient care. So I think that's why I realized that, you know what, I have to not work so much when I feel overwhelmed, and I have to like speak up about it. You know, I don't think it's fair when you're dealing with people who are not doing their half of the job, and then you end up being burnt out because you feel like you're carrying the burden by yourself. So I think that's very important, just like speaking out. And you know what? Not everyone's going to like you. You know, some people, when you speak out against them, they're not going to like you. But I'm like the kind of person, even if I'm working with someone who's like, you know, habitually like just lazy, I mean, it is what it is most of the time, but when it starts affecting me where I feel like, okay, I'm doing everything by myself and I'm overwhelmed, I don't think it's fair. So usually I don't complain, but in that case, I'm like, okay, I have to say something. But I mean, this week I feel so much better. I worked out last week, and I'm not a big workout person. I'm trying to be, but I'm just really not. But, you know, I did feel better afterwards. I'm also eating better. I never really ate bad, but I wasn't eating like fruits, vegetables, and all this stuff. I would eat like probably like one meal for the day, then like some chips or something, and that's not healthy. So I'm just eating better and just doing like stuff that I love, like hanging out with people that are positive, talking to people that are positive and lift my spirits, and just not engaging with those people that cause a reaction in me. You know, those people that their energy and your energy just don't mix. And I think it's important to also stay away from that. So I think self-care is like the number one thing in this situation to cure whatever you're going through, like that burnout feeling. Because you only have one you. It's only one, you only have one life. So why would you give and give and give to other people when you have nothing to give? That's just going to drive you insane. So it's best to recharge and make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you can be the best you for your patients, for your family, and provide the best care. I'm really happy I took those steps to really like better myself because honestly, like, I was just feeling like a mad woman. I was feeling crazy and just snapping at people for no reason. I'm like, who am I right now? Like, and I didn't feel like being around people, and I don't like when I'm like that. So I think it's very important to find the source of that frustration. It could be the job. It could be that, I'm not working with a good team. I don't like this job. And sometimes you just have to find a different job and just not be so comfortable. I mean, I think I work at like a really good hospital, and I mean, I'm not going to I don't want to work somewhere else as a tech. To me, once I'm done being a tech, I want to just move on to being a PA. And I don't think it will be like sensible for me to find a different job when there's really nothing wrong with this place. I think for me, it's the position itself. I don't really want to be a tech anymore. I just want to move on. Like, I've been doing this for like 3 years, and I've been in EMT for 4.5 years. So I'm kind of just like over it, and I want to go to that next level. And I think that really contributed to me like becoming burnt out, because when you don't really love what you're doing, I mean, I love patient care, but not exactly in this form. I mean, I'm learning a lot and I'm thankful for the job, but I want to be a PA, and it can become very frustrating when you want to do something and instead you're doing something else. Like, I just turned 28 and I just want to feel like I'm making progress, you know what I mean? Because I had like a timeline for myself, and I just feel like I'm not meeting that timeline. So I was just a little frustrated by that whole thing. But you know what? I feel like everything happens when it's supposed to, as far as career goes. Like, when you're working hard, I feel like God will always meet you halfway. I mean, I don't think God forgot about me. Hopefully not. But, I'm just, this week, I'm just in a better mood. I feel so much better. And, because I had like, I read some stuff, and I, talked to some people, like good friends, and I just gained some perspective, because I'm like, you know what? You are trying your best. So something good will happen out of that. And I mean, even if I don't get into PA school this time around, I'm going to try again. I'm not going to give up. I mean, I'll be a little frustrated, but there's no way I'm going to give up on myself. So, I mean, don't give up on yourself either. You just have to keep pushing on, and when you feel like you're burning out and you don't have anything left to give, just give it all back to yourself. Take a break, go on an isolated island by yourself if you have to. I mean, I don't know, do what makes you happy. And sometimes that means being away from certain people, being away from the job. Some people don't like to call off, but sometimes that's what you have to do. And it's very important to be healthy, especially in healthcare, like mentally and physically. If you need help with stuff like being a tech or a nurse, like, call somebody else to help you out. Don't break your back, because once you injure yourself, then you can't be any good for your patients or even your family. You can't work anymore. So I think it all has to do with self-care and just being mindful of your triggers and just knowing your limit. I think we just like to push and help and give, but it's very important to, save some of ourselves for ourselves, not give it all away. So that's my topic today. If you're experiencing the same thing, you can just leave a comment below and, tell me how you deal with it. And thank you so much for liking my stuff, subscribing, and just being great. I mean, it makes me feel really good that my stuff is helping you guys. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.
Let's begin now. Let's begin now.